Welcome to Freda Chando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching our channel for the first time, allow me with profound humility to request you to subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. After the Meru Governor, Madam Mwangaza Kawira, was impeached by the Meru MCAs, the bill to either kick her out of her political office or to reinstate her back reached the speaker's desk, Mr. Amason Kingi. Now, Madam Kawira's political fate now lies entirely with the senators. Already, the ODM party and Azimio fraternity has indicated that they are going to give their full support to Madam Kawira Mwangaza. I have not heard anything from the Kenya Kwanza. Now, with this, there is a lot of confusion because for Madam Kawira to be ousted from office, both the Azimio and Kenya Kwanza team must unite together to kick her out. There are speculations that the Kenya Kwanza team wanted her out of office so that they can get that seat. Remember, UDA painted Mount Kenya yellow, and people still don't understand how Madam Kawira managed to beat both Mithika Linturi and Kiraitu Murungi, both who are men, they have money, and they have anything. Because Kiraitu Murungi was a sitting governor, Mithika Linturi was running on a UDA ticket which had swept, the wave had swept Mount Kenya. But Madam Kawira, as a woman with less finance, in a male-dominated political scene, managed to come through and she became a governor. So how are the senators likely to vote? What are they going to look at as they debate? Number one, politics of 2027 is going to take center stage at the Senate. Raila Odinga wants to support Kawira Mwangaza to show the Mount Kenya region that hana ubaya. They had painted him in bad faith. And I remember Raila Odinga made that move a few weeks ago when there was a by-election pitting a UDA candidate. You remember when he went to campaign in Nairobi, even without calling people like Jeremiah Kioni, there was no any other Jubilee luminary when Raila went to campaign for a Jubilee candidate in Nairobi. And that really melted the hearts of the Jubilee, and they came back after, stating that they were done with Azimio. So Raila Odinga wants to show them that he still loves them, he still wants them to work together. So the senators that are allied to Azimio One Kenya Alliance are going to support Kawira Mwangaza. And on the same note, if you have looked at Rigathi Gachagwa's political moves of late, Gachagua is a man on a mission to try and unite Mount Kenya leaders around him within the UDA. He had given them up to 31st of this month to come back to UDA. He calls the leaders in other parties prodigal sons and daughters. And it seems like it's paying off because I saw the Jubilee Nairobi branch who are trying to look for 10,000 signatures so that they can move and get out of Azimio. They want to go back to the UDA. So with this, Rigathi Gachagua would not want anything that will put him at loggerheads with Mwangaza Kawira. So he's going to rally his supporters, his senators, to vote for Mwangaza Kawira. Gachagua is also going to take political mileage. I remember the other time when they were voting leaders into the office of IALA, East African Legislative Assembly. He later came back and said that he is the one who rallied all the Mount Kenya MPs to vote for Kanini Kega. And with this, it seems that Kanini Kega was convinced, because immediately after that, I saw Kanini Kega praising Rigathi Gachagua and saying that Rigathi is their leader. So it is likely that both the Kenya Kwanza team and the ODM luminaries are going to vote to save Madam Kawira Mwangaza. Many experts believe that they want to do this because Raila Amolo Odinga alienda kwanza na akasema mimi nitasupport Kawira Mwangaza. The other thing that is going to take center stage is the feminine politics and the third gender rule. When Madam Martha Karua was unveiled as Azimio running mate, all the women in Kenya were very happy. They said they have been given the highest respect. And Azimio One Kenya Alliance believed that many women would vote for Martha Karua as a result of this, she being one of them. The Kenya Kwanza team was never left behind. They went ahead and signed an MOU with the Women Charter where Ruto and Gachagua promised the women that he would dedicate 50% of the cabinet slot to the women. He didn't achieve that, even though he gave some slots there to some women. The cabinet secretary for health is a woman. Aisha Jumwa is also there, so she tried. And what he has done now to ensure that he breaches the gap is that he has written some letter to the two speakers where he wants, among other things, to expand more seats, create more seats for women to reach that two-thirds gender. The only problem is that this bill is going to face a lot of opposition because in it there is the creation of a office of the official opposition leader, which Raila Amolo Odinga allies have rejected because they wanted to go to the referendum. But that is what they are doing. So with this, they are still obsessed with, to convince women that they are committed to the feminine leadership. So they are both going to rally their support around Madam Kawira Mwangaza to show the women in the country that you look, we value your leadership. Currently, ODM is facing a challenge because they might lose the governor of Homa Bay, Governor Wanga. There is a recount between Governor Wanga and her closest challenger, the former Nairobi Governor Evans Kidero, and they pray that they don't lose that seat because they want to show the whole world that they value women and they give them even more seats. So with this, I believe that Madam Kawira Mwangaza is safe, is home and dry. She's going nowhere. The last thing that is happening is they are also going to vote on suspicion. Already, the Azimio team feels that someone is using the MCAs to kick away and to kick out of office Madam Kawira. In fact, Madam Kawira herself said that there are people who spend sleepless nights, burn the midnight oil, and spend a lot of resources to ensure that she's ousted from office. But Ananibamba, because she had said that this is just the beginning of a two-term leadership. Yeye habanduki, anasema hashtuki, because anasema she has been anointed by God and all these are temptations. So the Azimio feels that there is someone who is using the MCAs to kick Madam Kawira out of office so that maybe the UDA can get into that place. But even some of the Kenya Kwanza team still feels that the MCAs are being used, or they want Madam Kawira to give them money. We have seen MCAs becoming a thorn in the flesh of governors because they want you to oil their pockets. If you don't do that, they sabotage your budget. The budget cannot pass. There is no bill that can. So they paralyze you in a way, and you know very well that as a first timer, as a first time in office, Madam Kawira wants to ensure that she pleases the majority of residents in Meru who voted for her on an independent ticket. She can be re-elected the second time in 2027. So with this suspicion, the senators are not going to allow the MCAs to play their mischief to kick out Madam Kawira out of office. I listened to some of the accusations that they gave. They don't hold any water. I don't think that the accusations meet the threshold that is required to remove a governor from office. But I want to say this. Madam Kawira, I'm sure, is going to survive. But if the MCAs are determined to oster Madam Kawira, they are still going to have a lot of problems. They should sit down and talk out their problems. And if it cannot happen, Madam Kawira must do two things. And I said it early in my early analysis. One, let her reach out to William Ruto. William Ruto, I believe, can call those MCs because most of them were elected on a UDA ticket. William Ruto can take less than 30 minutes to talk to them so that they can hear what they want and iron these their predicaments out, their differences out. The other time, the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua tried, he wanted to meet the MCAs so that he could save Madam Kawira from impeachment, but it failed. They did not meet him. I don't know, it pokes hole in his ability to rally all the leaders around him. Because if the MCAs cannot honor your meeting, it means there is something wrong. He needs to work hard. So let Madam Kawira talk to Ruto, President Ruto, so that he can call the MCAs to talk. If this cannot happen, he needs to invite William Ruto to dissolve the county government, that office. Because if this happens, then it means all of them are going to go back to wananchi waombe kura. Na mi I'm sure hakuna MCA atakubali kurudi kwa wananchi kuomba kura, because some of these contests are very tight. They have used a lot of money. Some of them sold their property to ensure that if they even pay the fee that is required for years and to run for that office, the money that they used to campaign. Let Madam Kawira call the president and ask him to dissolve, and I think she had done that. If this happens, then she will know whether these MCAs are serious or not. But I want to submit to you that now that the ODM and the Azimio had stated that they are going to support Madam Kawira, the Kenya Kwanza team will also do that because they don't want humiliation. And with this, Madam Kawira is safe, but she needs to ensure that they have a very conducive working relationship between her office and the MCAs. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? That is my take.